Welcome to Public Analysis and Decision Support, PADM 550. I am your professor, Dr. Eddie Witzel. Our textbook is Cases in Public Policy Analysis, the third edition. So there's a picture of it. We will have several Zoom meetings. See Learning House for the meeting dates and times. If for some reason you can't participate in one of the Zoom meetings, please text or email me prior to the start of the meeting. Case study, analysis, and presentation. These will be during the Zoom sessions. Each student will select a case study for analysis and presentation to the class. All the other students will ask probing questions about the analysis. So this is going to be similar to a public hearing. So the case study, analysis, and presentation, you need to create a PowerPoint presentation, and here's an outline. There should be a summary of the case, which is 1 to 3 slides, statement of the problem, which is 1 slide, analysis of the case, which is 2 to 3 slides, and proposed solutions, 1 or 2 slides. You also want to anticipate possible questions and have planned responses to the questions you anticipate. Your presentation should take 10 minutes, and then the question and answer time will be a separate allotted time. So practice this, see if practice presenting it to get it to be 10 minutes. So here are the cases. They're in our textbooks. Fighting crime, Washington, D.C. school reform, transit options, cigarette tax, fighting HIV, and air quality. Term paper. So the students must submit a 10-page paper on a public policy topic. So in this class, you will not select the topic. In the real world, public policy administrators do not choose the issues they want to address. The issues choose them. So the students will be given topics by the professor, and this will be something related to current events. I haven't selected the topics yet, but as we move through the semester, I will tell you what the topic is going to be. So I will determine the format, whether it's a memo, draft legislation, speech, press statement, or proposal. University closure. Since this is an online class, we will continue to meet even if the university is closed. Integration of faith and learning. Throughout the course, there will be opportunities to integrate faith and learning. Occasionally, I will point out scripture that is related to a course topic. You are encouraged to pray for each other and share prayer requests, either privately or publicly. And you are welcome to integrate topics of faith into any of the assignments that you submit. So this is 2 Kings 2:19 to 22. And here, one day the leaders of the town of Jericho visited Elisha. They said, "We have a problem, my Lord. This town is located in pleasant surroundings, as you can see, but the water is bad and the land is unproductive." So Elisha said, "Bring me a new bowl with salt in it." So they brought it to him, and he went out to the spring that supplied the town with water, threw salt into it, and said, "This is what the Lord said. I have purified this water. It will no longer cause death or infertility." And the water has remained pure ever since, just as Elisha said. Now, the interesting thing to me about this story is, remember the story of Jericho. When the children of Israel marched around Jericho, and the walls fell down, and at that time, Jericho was completely destroyed. And Joshua said, if anybody rebuilds the city, bad things are going to happen. Okay, so here, many years later, we have a king who rebuilt Jericho, and now the citizens of Jericho come to Elisha, the prophet of God, and tell him about the bad water. Well, the amazing thing is, even though these people are living in a town that God has destroyed and it was rebuilt against his will, Elisha comes and heals the water. To me, it's good that God takes our messed up problems and uses them for good and heals us, even if we got ourselves into a bad situation in the first place. Academic integrity policy. There's all kinds of details here. The most important thing is make sure that you understand the academic integrity policy. Make sure that all the work you turn in is your own work. If you cite a source, or if you use a source, either a quote or a paraphrase, be sure to cite it. It actually helps you in the paper to cite it, because it'll be part of the references. Tutoring is available both online and in person. Here's the information. You can email or call. And they will review your paper up to 10 pages, but require 48 hours of advance notice. A disability, if you need special accommodation, please email me or call me privately. Also, please contact the Disability Services Office. If you need additional information, contact the department chair. Here's a video. It's an interesting video. Go ahead and watch that. Now I wanted to talk about the religious affiliation of the 115th Congress. So this is put out by Pew Research, and there's a link that you can go to the entire report here. And I'll specifically point out Adventist down here. Adventist, there's two Adventist members of Congress in the House of Representatives. They're both Democrats. And so let's go into this a little more detail. I wanted to talk about who's been in Congress that is Seventh-day Adventist. The reason I'm talking about Seventh-day Adventist is this is Washington Adventist University. It is a Seventh-day Adventist institution. So the first congressman was Jerry Pettis, and he was a Republican. And his district started out in the area of Loma Linda. If you're very familiar with Seventh-day Adventist, Loma Linda is has a very large concentration of Seventh-day Adventists, and it's where the medical school for the Seventh-day Adventist Church, the primary one, is in Loma Linda. He died in a plane crash in 1975. His wife ran for his seat, and she was there until 1979. The next congressman was in 1977, and he's out of Tucson, Arizona, Bob Stump. And then the next one was in 1993 to 2003, and this is Roscoe Bartlett. I've gotten to meet Roscoe. He is a very interesting character. He would probably still be in Congress, but there's this concept of gerrymandering where the lines are redrawn. And so the lines were redrawn in such a way that he could no longer win as a Republican, and a Democrat took his place. Okay, the next Seventh-day Adventist member of Congress was in 1995. This is Sheila Jackson, and she is from Houston, Texas. And then and these last two are currently in Congress. The next one is Paul Ruiz, and he is the East Desert of California. It's pretty much east of Loma Linda in the desert. So those are the members of Congress over the years that have been Seventh-day Adventists. There has not been a Seventh-day Adventist senator, only representatives. A couple other high-ranking Seventh-day Adventists. Barry Black is the chaplain of the Senate. He was the first African American to be chaplain of the Senate, and he's the first Seventh-day Adventist to be chaplain of the Senate. Previously, he served 27 years as chaplain in the U.S. Navy. He retired as Rear Admiral Upper Half, and he was the chief of the U.S. Navy Chaplain Corps. Another one is Dr. Ben Carson. He is the 17th United States Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. He was a candidate for president in the primaries in 2016. Before that, he was director of pediatric neurosurgery at Johns Hopkins. Summary. We have reviewed the syllabus. Be sure to look on the Learning House site for the reading assignments, discussion forums. Next week we'll start with the weekly assignments and the case study presentations.